Oops, better get the key. G'day everybody, welcome back to Mother's Ruin. For those of you who watch occasionally or regularly, it's been a bit quiet, and well, that's just because we've had no rain, so we can't plant any trees. We're still waiting for our water to be approved, so we can't plant any trees. I haven't bought any more tractors officially yet, so I can't make a video about tractors. I'm waiting on parts for the Fiat, so I can't fix that. Anyway, so on and so on and so on. So it's been a bit quiet. We're out here today. I'll show you a little bit about what's been going on. It is what it is. Work's a bit ugly, and then, you know, life gets in the way. So first up today, we're going to check the rain gauge. We had a bit of rain last night, first rain in probably 2 or 3 weeks, and then before that it had been weeks and weeks. So let's get on with it. And it's another awful day. Alright, well, according to that, let's find something to put it against. We had 8 mil, or 0.3 of an inch, and there's nothing in the bottom, so 8 mil it is. Happy days. Righto, there's going to be a bit of wind noise today, so hopefully it all goes alright. So this is patch 4. We still haven't finished planting patch 4 because we're waiting on trees to mature enough to go in the ground. I pulled some out the other day that had roots about 1/4 of an inch or 5 or 6 millimeters. They're still not ready. And the other thing we've started to do is plant gladioles in this patch. And I did see some yesterday. So they've started to bust out of the ground, which is really, really exciting. And there's even one little tiny one down here, which you can just see. So they're about 60 days from flowering, which hopefully helps us put a bit of money back into the business. It is very, very dry, even though we did have 8 millimeters of rain. So I'll come down this other end and we'll have a look at some other stuff. So the junipers continue to go really well, even with the minimal amount of rain. We have had a couple attacked by cockies, so we've had to cover some back up. And we've also got some ranunculuses, which we put in as a trial last year, and they're starting to flower again. So that's a bit exciting as well. The weeds are once again dominant, but they don't affect the growth of the tree, so, well, not at this stage anyway. So we just cover that one, and that tree's going really well. So there's ranunculus through this row, and then the junipers are continuing to go spectacularly well. And the growth, and they're coming back into their colourful time of the year. So this isn't a weed we want to see in the paddock. This is a big thistle, so I'm going to stand on it today. And then I'm going to have to bring the shovel back to get rid of the stump. They go hardcore into the ground, but it's got to come out. This little tree's going really well. Stupid thistle. Another thing we've discovered is some of these didn't get very far into the ground last year because we had so much rain. So there's been a couple we've had to stake. Eventually they'll find their way and we won't have to stake them anymore. But for now, this one needed a bit of support, and there's one down here a bit further as well. Everything's looking really good. Branches like this one, that will eventually get cut off and turned into a cutting because it's too long. currawongs are flying around making a lot of noise. And this one may also need a stake as well because it's starting to leak. So anyway, we'll go for a walk up to the dam. Actually, I'll probably drive up to the dam because I've got to empty the tanks. We'll have a look at the job that's on the go there. That's a bit bigger than just pulling a few weeds. So with the continued dry weather, one of my other jobs was to try and dry out the dam. While the dam was drying out, or dried out, was to come in and try and pull a bit of the mud and the slop and the shit out of it and build the spillway up a little bit because it's quite low so that we can get a bit more capacity. The dam does leak, so it's not the world's perfect dam. It leaks because, well, it leaks. So I know I'm not going to change the leaky factor, but I can improve the depth. So I started yesterday and then we had 8 mil of rain, as you saw. So there'll be no coming back in here for a few days. We've now got another week's worth of dry weather. So I might have another crack Monday. So all I was doing was driving, as you saw in the short, just driving the tractor around and around in circles, just trying to find the hard and the dry and then push all the slop into the middle. But we'll have another go of that. Monday, I reckon, is probable. Back into the wind. And another job we've been doing is replacing the trees around the bottom edge of the dam. Because it does leak, we thought we'd try the water. So we've been putting some newer trees back in. These all cost me $2. So if they live or they die, that's on them. So the other thing, this is the top of patch 1, and we've got new gladdies growing up in here as well alongside the trees. So we're hoping for a gladdy harvest this year of around 6,000 to 10,000, and so far the signs are good. There's actually a tree in there somewhere, I hope. Oh, this tree might be toast. Oh no, there it is. Here's the tree. Just let me get... So there is actually a tree in there. There it is. Hopefully you can see this. So we'll put the cover back on and try and let that grow upwards. So while the water tank's draining, I'll go for a walk down and have a look at the little trees. I do have a clean up to happen this weekend. Just want a couple of spare hands with me so I can walk along and pick it all up and someone else can drive the car. The 8 mil of rain might not sound like much, but it certainly put the dust down. It might hold it all together until the next storm. Storm season has started, and that just means, 20, 40 mils at a time with big thunder and lightning. And that's always exciting. So the other job I've done is bring all the trees from home out to the block, and I tried to plant a few the other day, like I said, and they didn't have enough root system on them. So there's just over 4,500 common juniper here, and apart from a minor weed problem in some of them, they're all going really, really well. I just need them to start showing signs of positive growth, which means they've got roots, and then I can put them in the ground. I have also tried to grow some from seed. So far that's been a dismal failure, but that's fine. But yeah, they're going really well. They're enjoying being out here more than at home. Like I said, I just need them to show signs of growth, and they'll grow, there's no doubt about it, or they won't, one or the other. So anyway, I'll go back up and empty that tank out and go home for another round. One of the other jobs delayed by a lack of rain has been to tidy up the clearing that was done for the shed. It's a pretty big space. It's about 60 metres long, about 15 metres wide, and the idea is that we'll tidy it all up, find the flattest part, put a shed in or a couple of containers with a roof over it, and then have all of the equipment lined up down through this space. But there are some pebbles to get rid of. There's another one over there, and one there, and one over there, and one over there. And then also I've got to pull some material back in off the trees and fatten it up a bit, but probably come out the Sarve and might have a go. Because the aim is to have all the equipment parked here, campground up through the trees there where there's a road, and the tanks at the top where we have some water. I do have a space in here, so I asked the dozer operator to make it flat, and my interpretation of flat and his are a little different, but that's fine. So you can't really see it, there's one flat section here and out here, so there's one section there, there's a flat spot here, and then there's whatever I can do with that down there. I might end up actually lifting all of that material back up into this piece. Don't know. My tractor's not spectacular for bulk earth moving, but we'll have a go. And then this space here is actually reasonably flat, so in the short term I'll just flatten this out through this piece, so it's relatively flat through this bit here. I'll just bring the tractors up here until I can get the rest of it sorted, but anyway, we'll see what happens. Right, everybody, so that's where we're at. We're at the shed pad and things are a bit quiet. So thank you for your patience. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for not unsubscribing. It's always appreciated. And yeah, we'll try and get some video back up and get on with it. So this will be the campground, and my chair's going to be over there where I can sit in the shade in the afternoons and have a little nap. So very exciting for me anyway. All right, thanks for watching. See you next time. All right, so before people ask, the parts we're waiting on for the Fiat, very, very simple. I need a new seat bung because that one's collapsing, and I need 2 battery tie downs which I cannot find, so I'm going to have to fabricate. Other than that, it's going really well. I still think I might have a very minor head leak, or it's just condensating with the temperature, but other than that, sorry dog, the beast is ready to go. So yeah, there you go.